Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission today is pretty strategic, actually. We're essentially reverse engineering a language learning crash course.
That's right. We've got the structure of this intensive 1-hour French beginner session. The whole idea was to get someone from, well, absolute zero to speaking actual sentences.
And what we're doing is pulling out that roadmap. How do you actually build that foundation in just 60 minutes?
Exactly. That roadmap is key. If you need to get foundational knowledge fast, this shows the highest return on investment for that first hour. We're not teaching French here today.
No, not the vocabulary itself.
Right. We're analyzing the choices the curriculum designer made. So the goal for you listening is to walk away knowing how to build that foundation step by step, effectively.
I think the structure itself is really revealing. It covers accents, greetings, introductions, some survival phrases, numbers 1 to 10, and then just four key question words. But what really jumped out at me, looking at the time breakdown, is how much weight they put on that very first phase.
Oh, absolutely. The first decision they made, almost 20 minutes, nearly a third of this really precious hour, just on pronunciation drills.
20 minutes just on sounds.
Yeah. If you're thinking purely about efficiency, that sounds like a huge chunk of time, right?
It does. It feels a bit risky. Is that like the smartest move? Or are they maybe overdoing the technical stuff too early? Wouldn't getting some quick words in get you speaking faster?
Well, it seems counterintuitive, but I think it's strategically brilliant. These designers, they clearly understand that if you pick up bad pronunciation habits now, it takes so much more effort to fix them later on. It's really about minimizing confusion and maximizing clarity right from the get-go.
Yeah.
They're building a solid foundation, not just, a shaky tower of phrases.
Okay, that makes sense from a long-term view. So within those 20 minutes, what are they prioritizing? They surely don't teach every French sound rule.
No, definitely not. They focus only on the highest impact things, the specific accent marks that really change how a word sounds. If you're learning French, the one you absolutely have to recognize first is the accent aigu, the A.
Ah, the one going up to the right.
That's the one. It gives you that sharp A sound. Think of iconic words like café.
Or étudiant.
Exactly. Étudiant. It's the key to so many common words. So that's priority number one.
So the strategy is, don't get bogged down in complex grammar rules for sounds. Just focus on the mechanics that change common vowels the most. Makes sense.
Precisely. And they pair that with two specific pronunciation quirks that are just non-negotiable if you want to read French aloud correctly. They spend real time drilling the trema and the cedilla.
Okay, the trema. Those are the two dots over a vowel, right? Like in Noel.
Yep. You can think of it like a little separation alarm. Its job is simple. It stops two vowels right next to each other from blending into one sound.
Oh, okay.
It forces you to pronounce them separately. So Noel, not Noelle. Or maïs, corn, heritage, hate. It just keeps the syllables distinct. It's purely mechanical.
And the cedilla, that little hook under the C, that one seems crucial because C can sound like K or S.
It's the ultimate sound softener, as you said. Without that cedilla, a C before S or S usually sounds like a hard K.
Right.
The cedilla strategically flips it to a soft S sound. You absolutely need it for foundational words. How would you say garçon, boy, otherwise?
Or français itself.
Exactly. Français, or leçon, lesson. Getting that right changes everything. So that initial 20 minutes is really about ensuring that when you do start speaking, people can actually understand the sounds you're making.
Okay, so we've spent, the first third of our hypothetical hour mastering the sound engine. What's the very first piece of actual conversation they add? They pivot pretty fast.
Yeah, they pivot immediately from those mechanics to social ritual. And that's smart too, right?
Why is that?
Well, it ensures you actually use the sounds you just learned before you forget them. It helps lock in that muscle memory. So it goes straight to greetings and farewells.
The absolute basics for starting and ending any interaction. So, bonjour.
Hello, good morning.
Bonsoir for the evening.
Right.
And the informal salut. Hi.
Yep. And then for leaving, au revoir.
Goodbye.
And à bientôt. See you soon. These are like the basic traffic signals for any French conversation. You just have to know them.
And tied right into that, they immediately tackle something culturally huge. The politeness spectrum. Formal versus informal.
Oh yeah, you cannot escape this in French. It's fundamental. They hit you with it right away.
Merci, thank you, and merci beaucoup, thank you very much. Those seem straightforward enough.
They are, but the real crux is please.
Ah, the vous versus tu distinction.
Exactly. The curriculum makes a point of contrasting si vous play the formal please using vous and s'il te plaît, the informal please using to.
And introducing that difference right at the start is, well, it's pretty strategic, isn't it?
It's brilliant because it teaches you not just words, but crucial social intelligence from minute one. The choice you make instantly frames your relationship with the other person.
And speaking of politeness, what about, bumping into someone or needing to interrupt? The original outline mentioned those.
Good point. Before you even say who you are, you need tools for navigating public space, or, yes, slight social awkwardness.
Right.
So the course includes pardon and excusez-moi. Pardon is often for, like, accidentally bumping into someone or if you didn't quite hear something.
Oh, pardon me, or sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas excusez-moi is more like, excuse me, often used when you need to get someone's attention or ask them to move aside. They're like conversational lubricants, really essential little phrases.
Okay, social doors opened, interactions lubricated. Now we get to identity, introducing yourself. What's the core formula they teach in this first hour?
The absolute foundation sentence here is, je m'appelle, and then your name. My name is.
Simple enough.
But conversation isn't just about broadcasting, right? It's two-way. So they immediately teach you how to ask someone else their name.
Because you need to be ready to ask the question back.
Exactly. So you learn comment tu t'appelles. It's the informal way, using tu.
For friends, kids, people your age, maybe.
Right. And then, comment vous appelez-vous? For the formal version, using vous.
For strangers, older people, authority figures.
Precisely. And the lovely part is the standard simple reply you often get or give. Enchanté if you're male. Enchanté with an extra E if you're female.
Nice to meet you. Seals the introduction.
Perfect.
Okay, this moves us into what the curriculum called the survival phase. Once you've done the greetings and names, managing when things go wrong seems critical. What are those lifesaver phrases?
Yeah, you could call these conversation management tools. They're what let you control the pace if you start feeling, overwhelmed.
Things beyond just decor. Okay.
Yes, those are vital, obviously. But the real survival utility comes from being able to clearly state when you're having trouble.
Right, because you'll hit a wall at some point. You need a way to pause or reset without just giving up and walking away.
Exactly. So the course drills three key phrases here. First, je ne comprends pas.
I don't understand. Essential.
Absolutely. Second, répétez, s'il vous plaît.
Repeat, please, using the formal vous there.
Good catch, yes. And third, the linguistic emergency button. Parlez-vous anglais?
Do you speak English? The fallback.
It is. But I also really like that they include a more nuanced phrase, too. Je parle un peu français.
I speak a little French.
Yeah, it manages expectations beautifully. It says, I'm trying, but please be patient. It's humble and effective.
Okay, before we get to the real, application with questions, the curriculum slots and numbers, just 1 through 10, it feels a bit like a vocabulary list, but why just 10? Is there a strategic reason for that strict limit in the first hour?
This is a perfect example of high return on investment knowledge.
Yeah.
Why only 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Because think about it. Those 10 numbers cover almost all your immediate basic transactional needs.
Like buying a coffee or a couple of croissants.
Exactly. Handling small purchases, understanding small quantities, maybe giving or getting very basic directions involving street numbers, even referring to the first few hours on a clock.
Ah, okay. Anything beyond 10 starts getting more complicated with pronunciation or patterns.
Right. The rules change, the sounds get trickier, so they hold off. It's the minimum viable product for counting in that first hour. Max utility, minimum complexity.
So if you can handle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you're basically equipped for basic survival in shops and cafes.
Pretty much utility over trying to cover everything.
Makes sense. Okay, now for the grand finale of this packed 60 minutes, making the leap from just responding to actually initiating. The course uses its last bit of time on just 4 key question words. This is where you become an active participant.
Yes. This is huge. If you think about the bigger picture, question words are the tools that let you steer the conversation. They give you control.
They let you ask for the information you need.
Precisely. They're the scaffolding for any kind of meaningful interaction beyond just greetings. And the 4 pillars they cover are où, quand, pourquoi, and qui. Where, when, why, and who.
Let's break those down quickly. Those 4 really cover the basics of human curiosity, don't they?
They really do. They start with où, where. The example given in the source, où est la bibliothèque, where is the library, is immediately practical. Location, location, location.
Get around to that where.
No. Then you've got quand, when. This opens up talking about time, planning, scheduling. The example is Finley. Quand est ton anniversaire? When is your birthday? Uses the informal ton.
Right, and then pourquoi, why. Including why feels like a significant step. It's not just transactional anymore.
It's a huge strategic leap.
Yeah.
It signals that this course wants you, the learner, to be able to engage on a deeper, more personal level, even this early.
Asking about reasons, motive.
Exactly. It empowers you to ask things like, Pourquoi apprends-tu le français? Why are you learning French? I mean, that's a genuinely engaging question you could ask someone.
Yeah, that sparks real conversation.
And finally, qui,
Ooh.
identifying people. Used in a context like qui est, who is it, or who is that?
Yeah.
So by the time this hour is up, you've been given tools not just to answer basic questions, but to ask about location, time, motive, and identity.
Wow. Okay, so stepping back, this really shows what reverse engineering a curriculum can reveal. We've basically extracted their strategic roadmap.
And the structure, when you lay it out like this, it's beautifully logical, isn't it? It's roughly, what, 30% pure mechanics, getting the sounds right?
The accents, the sedia, the trema.
Followed by about 60% on social ritual and managing the conversation, greetings, politeness, survival phrases, introductions.
Right.
And maybe only 10% on pure vocabulary acquisition. And even then, it's laser focused on super high utility items like those first 10 numbers and the 4 essential question words.
So hopefully you listening now have a much clearer picture of how you might structure your own first hour if you were starting a language from scratch based on these principles.
Exactly. It's about strategic prioritization.
Now, we always like to leave you with a final thought, something to mull over, usually based on the curriculum's own choices, or maybe it's homework.
Yeah, the original course material actually suggested a little homework assignment for the students. It cleverly combined 2 things they'd just learned, introducing themselves and asking a question.
What was the suggestion?
It prompted them to try writing out, or even better, saying, Je m'appelle your name, où habites-tu?
My name is name, where do you live? Using the informal term.
Right. But the real insight here, I think, isn't just learning that specific sentence. It's recognizing that this super intensive 60-minute plan deliberately prioritized the tool of inquiry, the question word où in this case, over just building more statements of vocabulary.
So the provocative thought is, what does that emphasis on asking questions right from the start tell us about the real goal of foundational language learning?
Maybe. Maybe the primary goal isn't just to be able to answer perfectly in those early stages. Maybe it's more about gaining the confidence and, crucially, the mechanism the question words needed to actively initiate and drive the conversation yourself, even if simply.
That's the strategic shortcut. Learning how to ask, not just how to respond.
It could be. It puts you in the driver's seat much faster.
Interesting perspective. And just as a little preview, the source material showed that part 2 of this learning journey would immediately build on this by tackling practical time structures.
Yeah, things like the days of the week, the months, how to tell time, and then starting to string together slightly more complex but still simple grammar structures, building block by building block.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into efficient learning structure.
Merci beaucoup for joining us.
À bientôt.